Nah.
we'd be like, oh, she's married?
Yeah.
We ain't never seen that man.
Never at all.
And that's a
he like
problem.
a mystery man.
This is an Iwebu production.
Period. One of the questions that I continuously saw asked was how to deal with a spouse that has a pretty opposite lifestyle to you. So I married you and you a big time smoker. And it disturbs me. I think it's so unhealthy. I'm on this health kick, but you smoking these cigarettes down. You throwing the packs back, or
Man.
I am a gym rat and you overweight and you don't care about nothing. You ain't even trying to think about a salad. You ain't even trying to get a smoothie in, or I'm really deeply in my word and you're just really not. You really don't care. How do you feel? Or I'm a CHH artist and you don't like Christian hip hop at all. How would you deal with having a spouse that has an opposite lifestyle to you, or something that you care about, they just don't?
Yeah. So I believe, and I'm a firm believer in, these are the type of things that could have been handled ahead of time. So number one, I don't believe that two people should be together that have so far of a different lifestyle from each other. I mean,
Yes.
like, just, you a strong believer.
Right.
He's strong in the streets. Like,
But that be happening.
No, it do.
Yes.
And,
The woman
but
be at
again,
church and the man never come.
And here's the reason, though.
Yeah.
Because we probably jumped in, and I'm gonna keep saying this. I'm gonna reiterate this a lot of times. Is that like we probably jumped into bed too quick? We probably was doing just a little bit too much of that stuff, and then forced a marriage. Okay, like when you should have just took a little bit of time to see who exactly it is that you're with. One of the main things that I knew about you, this is why we say have your non-negotiables.
Yeah.
One of my non-negotiables, she gotta love Jesus more than she loved me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have a problem with do she want to go to church or whatever
Right.
the case.
Ooh.
We may have an issue of do we want to go to the same church, or like if we like the same pastors or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But do we want to go to church at
Church,
all?
right.
Like that'd be something. That's probably
That'd be
one of
a
the biggest
big-
thing in the
yes.
church right now is
Husbands be at home.
Husbands be at home.
Yes, they don't
Straight
be going
up.
to church with their wives.
Nah.
We'd be like, oh, she's married?
Yeah.
We ain't never seen that man.
Never at all.
And that's a
He like
problem.
a mystery man.
He's a mystery.
Like,
You
oh my
never
gosh.
see him. And then when you do, you're like, oh, you ain't. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
this makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
and that's a big deal because that it goes in, especially church. Like that is a big deal because number one, you're being taught something that your husband isn't or your wife isn't, and then also that trickles into how you lead, how you handle finances. It literally goes
Yes.
into everything,
Yeah.
and I see that being such a big, or even going to different churches. I don't think that's
Seen
healthy.
that. Yeah, I mean, one of the things my father always told me is, Augustine, I don't care if your wife, if she is going to school, you need to be going to school.
Yeah.
If she is studying the Bible, you need to be studying the same thing. Because here's what happens: is you'll see that like two people are going down two different sides of the roads, and like
Yeah.
you're doing like this. She going to church, you going to the club.
Yep.
Y'all going like this.
Yep.
And if one doesn't reel the other one in, like if she doesn't reel that brother in from the club or that sister in from the club or whatever the case may be into the church, then the thing is gonna go off road. It's not gonna work out.
Always.
So I believe that number one, that's something that can be taken care of during the courting season, and that's why I say, hey, well, I think last time on one of my videos I said, yes, I believe you can figure out if you want to marry this person in 6 months to a year because you're doing so much of the interview process. I can figure out so many
Without
things.
sex.
Yeah, without sex. So therefore, I'm not cloudy. I'm not
Yes.
cloudy in my judgment. I'm
This
not
is
just trying to
why.
push this thing for just because I'm just because I want to be with you so bad or whatever.
Right.
I'm really figuring out, okay, is this really the person I'm going to spend my life with?
Right.
Like, I think people just don't really understand. Like, mind you, we only own this earth sometimes 70 to 80 years.
Right.
Even less than that.
Sometimes, yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Be a privilege to make it to like 60 something. You understand? Like, and you got to know you're committing your life to this person.
Yeah.
So that's why I say you got to take so much time with that. But moving forward, if like say you're into it and you're just into maybe two different things.
Yeah.
I believe we've had it in some of our situations where she likes things that I'm just not really into.
Yeah.
Like I'm really into entrepreneurs speaking, like listening to those things and all of that. I believe More Yours, Baby is what the
lifestyle
living and all of
Lifestyle
that.
hacks.
And I believe sometimes if there's somebody that you love, you should be interested in what they're interested in sometimes. So it's not that you necessarily gotta like deep dive into it, but like sometimes I might end up stopping and looking at Peyton and or whoever it is, Aaliyah or all these people. I don't know, get them all. They all look the same to me sometimes. So anyway,
they go to the same doctor.
Yeah. So again, it's the same doctor. Oh my. So anyway, I'm gonna stop and see. And number one, I want to know also, what is my wife into? What is she listening to? Yeah. Because it might be something that, hold up, no. I need to rebuke that right now.
Yeah,
that
who are you being influenced by?
That's the biggest thing.
Yes.
It's because they have some type of influence in some type of way. So I need to know, okay, what's going in her eye gate? What's going in her ear gate?
Yeah.
So you need to stop, take a sample of what's going on over there if it's not something that's against the word of God. Like, okay, stop and take a sample, see what's going on. She's come over on this side with me some.
Definitely.
She's looked at some of the entrepreneurs and take a bite. Like, okay, cool, I like Shan's, or I like some of that. Like, I'm gonna mess with that. So she's dove into
growing.
Really big time, really big time. We sometimes butted heads on some of those things before, but you have to be willing to take a step across the aisle and say, okay, let's meet in the middle. Yes. You like this thing. I want to see why do you like this thing, or whatever the case may be. So I guess the same question to you there, babe. Like, how do you deal with a spouse that has a different lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, that's really deep. We obviously don't have that. Our whole foundation is literally exactly the same. Moral standards, faith, belief. Yeah. How we want to raise our kids, the money we want, the businesses that we want, everything is aligned when it comes to the foundation of a healthy marriage. Yeah. So we don't have that an experience, but what I will say is, and piggybacking off of what you were saying, that can be solved in your dating season. And this is, again, why we say don't have sex. Because when you have sex, I've seen people throw away their non-negotiables. I've seen people throw away and avoid and duck. I mean, the red flags could be smacking upside their head.
Can't feel it because something else is smacking across their butt.
Okay. So you get smacked with red flags, but you get smacked on the butt. So you
on the butt though.
If you get more smacked on the butt than you are smacked in the red flags, you might choose the butt over the flag. So I've seen it in real life. I've seen women, unfortunately, now that are divorced, that ignored their man doing things, saying things, behaving in ways that they know they wouldn't want their husband to be like, that they know they wouldn't want their kids to grow up and see or be like. There was a question that I saw on Instagram that was like, whoever you're sleeping with, are you okay with raising another one of him? If he was to have a daughter or a son that was just like him, would you be okay? Would you be proud? And so that's why we go back to continuously saying, just don't have sex, because it's something about having sex that just clouds your judgment. But when you have, I have a friend that's abstinent, and she was talking about how like the clarity that she's walking in, and she was telling me, she was like, TK, if I was sleeping with him, I would have ignored that. I would have ignored seeing that. If I was intimate with him, I would have been like, man, it's cool. Because a lot of times we be staying in stuff simply for the sex. We be staying in stuff because we're sexually compatible. But when it comes down to getting married, ain't nothing matching. We can both be freaks and get it done in the bedroom. But when it's time to pay bills, when it's time for you to make a decision and for me to be submissive, when it's time for you to clean, when you really want to play the video game, those are the things that we really needed to know instead of smashing it. So it's such a big thing. But unfortunately, for those that are married and they like, TK Namdi, we in here. We can't. It ain't nothing to do. I want to encourage you. Number one, first and foremost, like what you said, again, this is piggybacking a little bit. Care. And you got to know that if you are married, we are supposed to, you're supposed to love the bride as Christ loved the church, right? Or you're supposed to love like Christ loves the church. Yeah. Meaning there's this selfless, sacrificial love, unconditional love, relentless love, a love that seeks to understand. Yeah. And so if you are going into your marriage with this mindset, like there's been times that Namdi's like, we're going to watch this thing on finances. We're going to watch this tonight. And I'm like, I want to lay in the bed and eat chocolate and watch a vlog. Like, I don't want to learn because that's like school to me. I don't want, I'm 30. I've been out of school for a decade and some change. Like, I'm not really trying to go to school, but the sacrificial love, the love that wants to show you like, baby, I care about what you care about. Let me see what this thing about will show up. Now, not always, but it's the intention that you set behind it. Yeah. And I really, really, really want to speak to the person whose spouse is not going to church with you. I need you to get serious about praying for them. I need you to get serious about fasting on their behalf, pleading and knocking on the door. I had me and my friend Francesca just did a devotion about prayer, and the thing that I took away from it, two things, is that the Lord is inclined to us when we pray. That means he leans to us. He is attentive when we are speaking to him. He's paying attention. It's like you and him only. So I want you to be confident in knowing that if you are lifting your spouse up in prayer, God hears you. And then what do you do with that? Because he is a good father, because he is a father that has plans of a future of hope, we can sit back and know, number one, I know you heard me. Number two, I know that your plans for my life is to do good. I know that it is. So I can sit back in confidence while still honoring you, while still respecting you, while still loving you. I can know that God is going to answer this prayer. Although me and Namdi, we don't have like big opposite lifestyle stuff, but there's some things that I desired from Namdi as a husband that I did not verbally ask him about. But guess who I asked about? Guess who I went to about on the behalf of my husband? And next thing I know, Namdi doing something that I've never asked him to do. Yeah. Because one, my man is also a man of God, so he gonna talk to God too. So just believe in the power of prayer. Believe in the power of consistency on the behalf of your spouse. I'm sorry, babe. Do you want to say something?
No, I think that as far as it goes, you got to know that marriage is another tune. Like it's low key. Even though we're celebrating at the wedding and all that, it's a funeral. Homeboy gone. You no longer. It's some things that you're gonna have to sacrifice.
Yes.
So.
It's dying to yourself. To be very clear about that. It's dying to choosing yourself first. Yes. And this doesn't mean like, oh, it's always my husband. It's always my wife. Like, no, but I said I do. And I said through thick and thin. I said rich or poor. I said all of these things. That means in some situations, I take the back seat. Yeah. That means in some situation, not when Namdi, you probably want to lay down. I'm like, babe, I need you to clean that restroom.
Yeah. Let me tell you, today, different things that I had my own plans. Yeah. But I had to sacrifice that. And so I believe when it comes down to those different lifestyles,
dying to yourself.
Dying to yourself. Yes. Yeah. You got to see, okay, what are they liking? Let me try this thing along. Again, as long as this is not against the word, as long as this is not, you're not doing something that's against the Lord, then hey, go ahead and see what your spouse is doing there. You want to kind of get involved in that situation. Yeah. See what they're doing. You want to stay connected, because if you guys are going like this, eventually y'all gonna be split apart. Y'all gonna be somewhere you don't want to be, in a courtroom with the D word. That too.
Or cheating.
Yeah, that too. And so again, that is very paramount. I think that for those to make sure that if you got somebody with a different lifestyle and doing that. So
yes,
if you,
I was gonna say, I just want to encourage you, if you have a spouse that is doing something that is opposite of what you desire, or they're not doing certain things that you want. Again, I just want to reiterate this. Do not forget the power of prayer. Please. This world keep telling y'all about manifesting. It's prayer. It's talking to the Lord. It's going to him in confidence. Not like, dang, Lord, please just change him. But like, God, no, I know who it. And then also like begin to speak to them as if they are already that. Yeah. Begin to honor them as if they are already that. So I just want to encourage y'all, if y'all dealing with that, man, y'all better dive into the power of prayer, because prayer really really changes things. It really does.
Definitely does. So anybody who also has opinion on that, as far as you're dealing with a spouse with a different lifestyle, or maybe you went through that and you were able to do something and really kind of bring some insight with your spouse on why you do what you do.
Yes.
Hey, leave us a comment below. We want to know what you think about that same thing. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content.
Yeah.
Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Ewaybooz. And look, we will see y'all on the next video.
Holla.